This StreamYard is freaking amazing, huh?
Oh yeah, it's I mean, you used to work for Adobe. Well, there's this whole huge push to get. I mean, it really is. If I know I have a browser, then I have everything else. You know, like I don't have to reinstall my apps. My apps are just bookmarks, and there's no like, is my state local? Is it on the internet? I don't know why that's so satisfying to just say, oh well, this browser tab is my entire business. You know, I'm a streamer. I log into this website. Now I'm in business. If I can't open my browser tabs, then I'm not in business. But how often does that happen? Whereas you know, you've got like Windows updating every other week with something breaking apps, and you've got like weirdness and like, you know, Linux. You know, you saw there's a thing with KDE or something. There's a concern because there's a date fast approaching set by the EU to make sure that your software is certified for accessibility guidelines, whatever, and nobody acted on it until just like recently, and the deadline's like in 2 weeks. Now, of course, KDE already has most of that, but they need to like certify it, right? And so like, if you're one of those companies that sells computers with Linux installed, pre-installed, as opposed to Windows, right? You're now in the hot seat. You got to make sure that software component is accessible, or you need to like unbundle it. And so imagine you're a business, you've gone to business and gone to market on one of these pre-Linux KDE sort of installations, and you don't know, your operating system goes, your app workflow goes. Now what? You know, but if it's all in a browser, then who cares? Like I can just open the browser on Windows or on GNOME or whatever. You know, like it's not a KDE specific app; it's just an app in the browser. Oh, it's so good.
So good.
You worked at, people were using Flex to do that kind of stuff. You could do like, you know, now you could do it today with the browser. Well, I know, but it was actually really, it was that satisfaction of like knowing you could get something in the browser. That was possible back then. It's possible now. I can build like a Final Cut Pro video editor in the browser today with just JavaScript and HTML5. But that's
WASM these days. WASM.
Yeah, exactly. But that's 20 years later, and we had to literally reinvent virtual machines for that to happen. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas you could do that in Flex, you know, in 2009. You know, no problem.
Right.
So. Yeah. So StreamYard's good.
So this is my first go at coffee and software live streaming. So what are like, are we live? Are people watching us right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for them. Let's see what we got. Okay, Alonso Aguilar repostio esta transmisión. Gracias, thank you. Somebody's sharing our nonsense on the internet. Anyway, what do we do?
What do we do? Are we ready to dive in?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. So I want to show you a little thing I was working on. I vibe coded. I just like vibe coded this thing, so it's probably not going to work. But I'm going to have you drive. So let's do your usual start.spring.io, and you can just create a web flux or whatever you want. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Really, so do I need to add anything? Wait, I have to show my screen.
Oh yeah, let's show your screen.
Okay. And going to my real browser. I use Chrome just for StreamYard. Here I am talking about how nice it is to have this browser-friendly option, but of course it doesn't work in Safari, which makes me sad. Okay, what do I do?
Let's create a Spring app.
Just web or something?
Yeah. Let's try web. I don't know if I've tested it yet, but with web, but let's try it and see what happens.
Hashtag YOLO. Okay, that's
YOLO.
That's my JavaScript right there. UAO. Unzip and open. Hey, you know what I just realized? Maybe my screen's too big. Is it too big?
I think yeah. Let's reduce the resolution for that down. There we go.
Hold. Is that? Did it all work?
Yeah. I think so. I think it looks good.
It reconfigured itself like live. That's amazing.
I know. Gosh.
Things got I can't even get a second monitor working in Linux, and I can actually change resolutions on a video mid-video, and it's just fine. Okay, we're all good. Everybody can see everything at giant like Fisher-Price toy-sized fonts.
Yeah. It's the font size that you would never use in your daily life.
Now this is how I like to code most of the time. Is I keep my code in the in the far 20%. You know, if it gets any bigger than that, I get very uncomfortable. So I like to have a lot of space over here. Really, just explore the space.
You know, when those trees get really deep, it's important to have all that space.
Oh, it's so important, so important. Nobody ever talks about that, but it's true. And I have. You might be wondering what my my line wrap is. It's 12. You know,
12. Why would you do anything wider than 12?
We have 12 is enough. Come on. Didn't Bill Gates speak to that or something? Okay, so I've got a thing. I'm using IntelliJ. Is that like?
That's great. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Build like a little web thing or something.
We should have set up pop so you can do the thing while I.
Yeah.
Okay. At controller. At response body. Okay. Little web thing or something. Here we go. And map.
This is all what I'm going to show you is very untested, so it's very possible that none of this works. But
this is the right channel for that kind of stuff because
release early, release often.
And it's not very good, but most of the time what I put out there. So people are like, I get what's happening here. I'm still going to watch. It's there. If it works, I'll learn something. If it doesn't work, it's an interesting car wreck. You know.
Right. It's always fun.
Always. There's no bad experience here on the old Coffee Software channel. Okay, there we go. So we did it, right?
Okay, great. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share a link here in the chat. And this is the start of the project. Oh, it got posted on all sorts of places.
Oh, yeah. There's a down here where it says all. Make sure you choose.
All.
Yeah, just choose Coffee Software.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so that link is.
So, yep, we're going to open that up. And so this is the Spring Devtools MCP server. And so this is going to allow us to have our AI code assistant have some knowledge about our running Spring application. So I only put the Gradle dependency in there, but I'm sure you can figure out how to get the dependency into your Maven stuff. Okay. I do like the development only in Gradle. That's pretty nice, like having that scope.
Yeah.
So the box bandwidth, so you know how to add dependencies.
Okay. You want me to do? Okay, so let me. Okay, I like how you remind me. Hey, you know how to do dependencies. By the way, look at this. So for people who are not paying attention, this release is cursed. Okay, so we were on 3.5 like a day ago, and then there's a regression, and then another regression. So now we're on 3.53. So update accordingly. Okay, it's just been a very harried few days here since 3.5.0 came out.
It's going to be interesting to see if my Devtools MCP server works with 3.5.3.
Wait, so okay, just copy and paste, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. Up. Okay. Org.james.
Oh, com. I got a .com, man.
Oh, you're a commercial. I get it.
Right. Yeah.
You're an ad. Actually, that's true. I think you and I, technically, aren't we like, isn't the whole point that we're ads? Okay, com.jamesward. Does that look okay? Looks okay. Let me do command. Did you publish to Maven Central? Oh, you did?
Yeah. The new Maven Central portal, which, oh my gosh, that's a whole thing.
The whole other Oprah. You know who got me through that? Our buddy Andres Almiray. Like, I've decided that if I can't.
JReleaser?
Yeah, like if I can't use JReleaser, I'm just not going to release her. You know, like it's, like that's the thing. I got to use
That's the only way.
It's so good. Yeah. I love that, and I don't understand Maven Central at all, and it blows my mind. Look, you know why Node won in terms of like being the #1 language right now? It's not because it's good, definitely not because of that. It's because it's easy to get garbage on the internet. Like I want my garbage to be on the internet too, okay? But really quickly.
Don't we all?
Oh, it's so painful. There's actually a background check, and you know they asked questions about my family. It was horrible just to publish a jar. I was like, what is this? Leave me alone. No, they didn't do that.
Okay, so we got the dependency. Let's see if this thing's gonna work. Hit reload on your server.
Reload.
Your demo application. Okay. Yeah, just restart this thing. And if it says that it's listening, oh dang it.
Reactor knitting.
We're gonna find some bugs.
Reactor knitting.
Okay, well I got.
Do I need Devtools installed?
I don't think so. I thought I tested this. Yeah, let's do reactive web because I thought I tested this with the standard web stuff, but apparently I screwed something up. I'm still figuring out how to manage class path stuff.
Like,
it's only been 20 years. I'm still
20 years and
still figuring out how to deal with class path.
Yeah, one does not simply use the class path.
Okay, so I got a little bug there I got to fix if you're just using starter web and not starter web flux. So I'll get that fixed. Maybe we could do some live hacking. You can help me fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the good thing is we're listening on port 9999. So we can give this a little test. We can open a browser to localhost port 9999/SSE. Let's see if that works. If this like responds and says something.
Well, it's a server socket.
Yeah, it's a server. Yeah, so I think that means it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I had to escape.
Oh, yeah.
It flushed.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so now that we've got our MCP server running, you've got Cloud Code as your thingy-majig for AI code assistance.
Yeah.
Okay, so open up a terminal, and we're going to add this MCP server to your Cloud Code.
Are we going to do it? Is it a remote or is it local?
Well, it's local host. So, but Cloud Code should be able to connect to a local host MCP server. It should.
Did you try that?
I don't know. We'll try it right now.
Okay. Wait. So, am I going to do the console config JSON, or am I going to do the thing we did the other day?
No. So yes, you're going to type Claude, Claude, and then MCP add. And then you have to say -- transport SSE. And then you have to give it a name. So I don't know, call it MySpring or whatever. Yeah, whatever you want.
You are
and then
James Word Devtools, but also Java Web Debugger.
Yeah, great.
Whatever. Okay.
Okay. Now http://localhost:9999/SSE.
Like that.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait.
Now let's go into Claude. Oh yeah, you want to check your config. That's cool. I don't know where that config is. Cloud storage. No,
I don't know. I'll never find it. It's lost it. Okay, whatever. That worked. Okay. That's cool. Didn't know that.
Cool. Okay, so let's just go into Claude. Launch your code assistant. Oh, go into your directory of your project first, so that you know Claude.
So I'm going to do this, right?
Yep.
Nothing else.
That's it.
I'm scared.
Okay. Now, is there some way to have it tell? Oh no, we just ask it. Say, list my tools.
Exploring. Look at it. It shows the token count. Good Lord, stop it. I'm broke.
Just cruising through those tokens.
Burn, baby, burn. Look at that go. Okay. There you go. That looks promising. Promising.
No, that's the
That's yesterday's.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Okay, so it doesn't. Why doesn't it know about our? Why doesn't it know about our the one we just added? It should know. It should know. I don't. How do we manage the tools?
Do we go into the login Cloud AI thingamabout?
I don't know. I thought this should just work with the local one. We can any debugging out of Claude on why it what its connections are.
Okay. I have no.
Claude code MCP SSE. Let's see what we. Okay, we did the transport SSE. Try exit out of Claude and then let's do Claude MCP list.
Okay. Taking a swig of my salty water. Electrolytes, you know. How do I exit? Just goodbye? Nope. Yeah, that worked. Hey, I'm out. Wait, how many tokens? Good gravy. 2.9 thousand input tokens. That cost, look, oh man, that's almost starting to add up.
6 cents.
Is that? I don't know if I can afford that. If we keep going like this, I'll be out of money.
I'll buy you a coffee.
Better be a very, very cheap one, like a Dunkin' Donuts or something. Okay, I'm gonna delete the target directory because I'm sort of short on ideas, and it always feels like the right thing to do.
Wait, was your server still running?
What server?
Your Spring app?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awkward. Okay. So you're saying it was the wrong idea. See, if I'm not inside of IntelliJ, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just feel like I can do whatever. What's this do? Yank, like it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we got our MCP server should be running, and then Cloud Code should know about it. So go back into your command line, and then do Claude MCP list.
Oh, that's yesterday.
Oh no, that's yesterday's. That's not right. We did the Claude MCP add thing, right? What?
Yeah. Should I do an update? Maybe it's a new feature. Nope. Upgrade. Oh God, just not enough coffee to make this work. Here we go.
Right.
Do you? Oh, hey, look at that. There's something. What is that? Nest release. Osprey. Wait.
Oh, you were like on an old Claude. Okay. Well, I guess I think that's good. Okay, let's try our Claude MCP add thing again.
Huh? So 1029. Hey, there we go.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't. Maybe it just was we needed the newer version. Okay, let's go back into Claude.
Okay.
And now list our tools again.
Hustling.
This is going to cost you.
Oh God. MCP.
Oh, yay!
Look at all that. That is money.
Look at all that. Okay. I don't know. Say like, tell me about my application health.
Oh, you're kidding. Do I want to proceed? Yeah. Okay. So that's, by the way, for people watching, notice how it's asking us if we want to like enable random untrusted code to run on our operating system. Isn't that nice?
Well, see, I mean, we're already running it as part of our Spring application. That's what started it up. So
yeah.
So I guess in a way we are running the untrusted code, but
so I'm going to just say
you can trust me, Josh.
Used memory 40 megs.
Okay, so this is information about your running Spring application.
Is this from the actuator? Well, we don't have actuator, so it's just you're sussing it out sort of manually.
Yeah, I may be able to build this on top of actuator. This is where I'm going to need some help because it's beyond my realm of expertise. Okay, say list my beans that are related to the web.
List my beans related to the web. That's a hell of a phrase. Do I want to proceed? Yes, and don't ask again. Thank you. I'm tired of you. Okay. Common annotation bean post processor.
So Claude shows you the kind of the raw output, but it doesn't show you the whole thing.
Just to know it's doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Is this kind of like when you have your IDE open and whenever the boss comes around, you switch back to the IDE, but then when they leave, you go back to like Facebook or whatever. Yeah. Wordle.
So let's try some other stuff like list my web routes.
List.
This one I don't know if it works, but
YOLO. I don't have. Wait, I've got one. We'll have the stuff that you added. in your SSE stuff. So yes, this is phenomenal. I'm talking to my code base.
You are talking to your running Spring application.
Yeah, one route demo application index.
Woo!
What? Oh, wait, you implemented this and you didn't use the actuator? I don't know, man. That seems a little.
I'm telling you, I don't know what I'm doing. I vibe coded this, man.
Oh God.
I vibe coded it.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know what other tools do I have in there. There's one with like properties.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So there's the things we can do. I don't know. List my Spring properties.
Oh yeah. Okay. List my Spring properties. Mm.
Oh, did it not? Did it use the tool? Huh. Oh yeah, it did.
Wow.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. So that's your properties.
Is that?
God. I don't know. List my active profiles.
It's good that you don't. You should.
Oh.
Asterisk.
I wonder
out.
who's. I wonder if Claude's actually detecting those and not displaying them. But that's good that it chose not to display those. Yeah. List my active profiles was another one.
Wait.
So I think you're right though. Like eventually this should just be a proxy on top of actuator, and then whatever actuator could do, this thing could do.
Yeah, I mean, actually, because actuator does all this.
How to do that?
No active profile. Okay, sure, but
you got no profiles, man.
If I go over here, wait, I want to do as runner.
So if you don't start an actual server, then it's not going to keep the MCP server running.
Right. I restarted it.
Okay, cool.
Now, what is it? Now, if I actually had no, oh, it's running. Okay, wait. So I have to do the Spring.profiles.active. Okay, fine. So
yeah. I think there's also an annotation for that. Oh wait, no, the annotation is only on tests.
Yeah, the annotation. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there you go. Hi. So this is running. Okay. Wait a minute.
Oh, boo.
Well, we said there might be some problems, and it's okay. Yeah, we were right. So that's actually a win. We are validated.
When your server started, did you see the profiles? Did it?
It read
at the very beginning of your log output, it's like, here's my active Spring profiles.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I got a bug on that one.
B-U-G.
I wonder if Cloud Code will reconnect. So since we restarted the MCP server, I wonder if it lost the connection and then we would have to
regurgitated the old cache data.
I don't know if there'd be any way. Like it seemed like Cloud Code would have to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah. So the AI code assistants that connect to the MCP server. Well, once we get the streamable HTTP transport, then that won't be a problem. I think that SSE connection breaks across restarts.
Right.
And then who knows how Cloud Code manages that. But
at JW.
Oh, you can like use some special syntax to just talk to a tool. That's cool.
Wow. It's because it says up here, MCP resources can now be @mentioned. I don't know what that means. Are they
you just figured it out?
But well, I mean, I can do this, and it just says, "Hey, here's what that does." But like, can I say?
So do you @JWDT and then I don't know, list Spring Beans or whatever? or list beans. Oh yeah, there you go.
So that way, if there's any ambiguity between this tool
right.
and
you can narrow the tool.
Oh, that is so cool.
Scope.
That's a cool tool right there. Oh, wow.
So I think eventually I could get this like merged into Devtools, so that if all you do is add Devtools, and then boom, you've got your MCP server along with Devtools.
Oh man, something like that would be
right.
amazing.
Right.
This is so cool. And also this Claude code is cool as hell. Yeah. We should fork Claude Code, and we could call it Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then that would be like this, but way more awesome, you know?
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, and then I'm sure if you're into like vibe coding, I'm guessing that by having some information about your actual running Spring application, that it will be able to do a better job as it's writing some code for you.
Totally. I mean, so again, the performance and the those metrics, that's the thing. If you have Actuator and you can give people access to the metrics, that's really cool.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know if it will use our tools for anything like this, but I don't know, have it tell Claude to like add a JDBC repository with a test container and to hold and some, I don't know, a record for dogs or something. Whatever you want to do. Like, I don't know if it'll actually use the tools that are coming from the MCP server to do this. It may just write the code for you without having to do any lookup of what's actually in there. To me, this isn't the best example to show like vibe coding with the Spring Devtools MCP server, but
well, I do want to see if this works. Like, is it going to manipulate my code for me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, welcome to vibe coding, man. So that's its plan. So this is where I wonder, like on the examine current project structure, if it would use the tools or if it's just gonna like cruise through the code base. Probably.
Oh, hi guy. What's happening over here? Okay. I gotta like look at the comments, but are you looking at the comments? What are people saying? Like,
yeah, I'm looking. They're awesome. People are following along and enjoying it.
Okay, let's see. So, Palm.xml Spring Boot started data JDBC. It's adding H2, a good sane default. The only quibble I would have, and again, all it's doing is doing what I asked it to do, which is exactly what I asked it to do.
Yeah.
But of course, you would never use Webflux and JDBC in the same app.
That's a good point.
Okay, so trust it. What could go wrong? Wow.
That customer
looks right.
Good.
Yeah. It's even more explicit than what I do, because you don't have to put add table, but it's being very, deliberate about everything. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So this particular prompt that we gave it didn't need to look at our actual running Spring app, but we'll have to think of a scenario where it's like, okay, I'm going to have it make some changes, but I want it to not just look at the code, but also look at my running Spring app. I'll have to think of what a good demo for that would be.
Yeah. Although this is pretty cool too. In addition, I mean, imagine if whatever demo you have builds upon what I'm seeing right here, then I think we got ourselves a winner, sir. So did it work? I mean,
yeah,
code compiles. Can't say that about most of the code I wrote. Although this is a little, what?
Yeah, come on. We don't need that.
Come on, yo. Whoa. I didn't ask, but I do appreciate that it's done this. Don't love the public keyword. or this, but otherwise it's fine.
Right.
Wow, it added SQL. Okay. These are the 3 people I always add to my demos as well. Create, okay, ID, what is it, serial?
Yeah.
Okay. It's H2, sir, so you don't need any of that.
Right.
Okay, let's try. Although the console being enabled is kind of cool. I forgot to look at that. And then I got to reload Claude here. Ah, how many tokens?
Oh, man, we spent 29 cents.
I was gonna say that's starting to eat into my like coffee money here. Few dozen more refactorings, and I might have to just skip that latte.
I don't know. List your JDBC beans.
List my JDBC beans. It's very weird. I'm asking questions that I would have to answer normally. This is a 4th generation kind of. I don't know. Wow.
Cool.
Oh,
okay.
Look at that.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Well, yeah. What else is in Actuator that would be cool? Natural language. This is basically like natural language Actuator.
Yeah. The metrics is what I would love to see here.
You were just telling about how Spring AI exposes metrics on like token counts and stuff, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's cool.
So I'm going to add this actuator here. I'll go over here. Exposure. Oh, nope. Command-Shift-I. Exposure. Show details. Okay. Don't do that in production, everybody, please. This is just so I can show our friend here everything. Please don't do this in production. This is going to be wide open endpoints. Don't do that. Localhost 8080 /actuator. There you go. So you've got your beans, right, which gives you the beans output. Your cache managers. Also, we have none configured, but if we did, we'd see them there. Your health, your actual application health. So here we see our data source, our disk space, our ping time, our SSL usage. If we added, let's see, health path, and we get info. This is blank, but it's a tabula rasa, right? So if you go to your property file here, and you say info dot enabled is true, and then info dot best co-hosts ever, James Sean. There you go. So restart. Okay, reload. There you go. Right. So I can add that arbitrary information. What I love is that if you have a Git repository, and really, you know, who doesn't? Then you go over here and you go over there, Git commit ID.
Ooh.
Take that, put that in there, go to the pom.xml, go down here. We're going to create a plugin. Delete that. Okay. Now I go back to my code. Git init, right? Git init first. Control C, git init. Git add. Git commit demo. Okay. So now Maven package. Hello. What happened?
Probably something from my stuff that confused it.
Port 9999.
Oh, it like spun up the server.
I forgot to skip the tests.
Yeah, always a good idea to skip the tests.
Always. I mean, I don't write them, so no, I do. I just don't. They're not. Well, yeah. Don't do it. Don't do what I do. Okay, so did that work? Wait, no. I just restarted the same damn thing. No, that did finish. Okay, so go back over here. Restart. Now I go over here and then reload that page, and there I can show you the brand, commit date, all that good stuff, right?
That's cool.
Go over here. Your info. Let's see. Your conditions. That is to say, which auto configurations. You know, those conditions on all the different beams that have to react as positive. in order for Spring to enable and include the bean in the final composition. Here's all the conditions that were positive, negative, and unconditional. Right, we call it unconditional, which is down here. These get registered no matter what.
Find a bean that you're interested in. Well, let's try it with natural language. So let's go back to Claude.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Can I show you some more first? Let's come back to.
Oh yeah.
Put a pin in it.
I want to see if some of the natural language would work for querying some of that.
Okay, so let's do natural language for conditions, beans. Okay, info, and then okay, so you've got your environment variables, which is this gives you your env, right? Mm-hmm. And it's also your configure. You're just your Spring Framework environment. Actually, it's not shell. It's not just a shell. It's every property in the environment.
So in my Devtools MCP server, if I could just like inject the actuator,
you get
and then basically wrap everything actuator does with tools, then boom, I would have all this.
And then there's also loggers. This one you could actually like read. You can not just enumerate all the log levels, but you can actually post and then change the log levels while the program's running. So if you want to debug a particular segment of code and it's already in production, you just post and change the logs.
So right now my DevTools MCP server doesn't have any write operations, but that's totally a case where you could just natural language say like turn on debug logging.
Yeah. And here's thread dump. So if you want to get a thread dump or a heap dump, they have a heap dump in here somewhere. You can just click on these endpoints and they'll give you information about which threads are waiting and running and whatever, locked, that kind of thing. Metrics, this is our friend metrics. So here you can see how much memory you've got, what threads are live or not, how many processes there are that are open, what's the uptime for the process, how many system CPUs do you have, how many threads in the thread pool are active versus waiting versus whatever, how long did it take for the server to become ready and started, and how many connections you have in the connections pool that are idle or pending or whatever. And then, of course, how many server requests have we gotten so far? And if you want to look at all that, you just go here, and you can see the count, total time, the max, and there's different dimensions of that exploration. So this is like nutrients for our MCP server here.
So with all this data, what we could do is just have natural language interface to it.
Exactly. Tell me how many requests I've gotten. And also this would show you your token count. If you have Spring AI on the class path and you add, can I do that from here? I think I can. If I go over here, add starters, open AI or Bedrock or something that, whatever.
You're probably going to have auth stuff set up. But you already have auth stuff set up for OpenAI. So
I think I even have it for Bedrock, but we'd have to specify the model, which is future. Not a big deal. It's just restart. Will it do anything if I don't actually make a request is the question. Will it have a token count? I don't know why it would. Right. So create a constructor. Check on AI. Okay. Is that going to be I think that's probably not going to work. Because, it's in the constructor of the main app. It's going to be like a cycle.
Right? Yeah, I might get confused on that, huh?
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Same joke. It worked. So there's that.
Okay, cool.
So now, can we go to our actuator? And then there's the GenAI client operations, GenAI client token usage.
Ooh.
Go there, and you can say it says I've used 58 tokens, and on this model and this model and that output, here's the input types and all that.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool, right? It's like this stuff. And then here's the thing that we added like a few releases ago. That is one of my new favorite party tricks. Your SPOM. So you go over here to ye old pom.xml. Nope, not that. I don't know why IntelliJ thought that's what I wanted. And we're going to add Cyclone DX. Oh, did I already add it?
What is Cyclone?
Why is Cyclone? It's a tool for generating OWASP compliant software bills of materials.
Oh.
there's many different competing standards, but you just add this plugin and then redo the build. Hello. I use Vim Motions, by the way. Okay, here we go. Okay, go. Now reload. So where did I? Here. SBOM. It says there's going to be an SBOM for application. Great. Go there. And now I can see, which dependencies got the artifact, the provenance, the version, the hash. Like here's your plugin. It's under this package. It's a jar.
Yeah.
The group ID. It's a library. Here's all the different hashes of it. Let's see. Licensing. Oh, so good.
Nice.
So you can imagine like asking the AI, hey, is everything I'm using Apache 2 licensed compatible? Like this is a question it can answer now with that.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Back in Cloud Code, there is a dependencies one, which let's try to see if we don't have to restart the Claude to get it to reconnect. But let's just try it and see. Show me the dependencies. Yeah. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, or you can brute force it. No. Okay. Oh, it did call the tool. Okay. First it read the POM XML, but then it did call
so cool.
Devtools MCP server. This is going to use a lot of tokens.
It's okay.
This one's an expensive one. Yeah.
It's special.
I'm special.
So special. Spring Boot 3.53. Wow. It actually knows what version of Spring Framework you're using. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like super critical, right? People want to know that. What version of Spring, which version of Boot? Tell me both. That's what we printed out. Like if you look at the content.
So one of the things that I'd like to do with this is expose the documentation and like Java docs for the versions of the things that you're actually using in the MCP server.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is right here. This is like, oh man. So if I'm already in the code, then hey, I probably already know some of this. But you know what this is going to be super valuable is I take over somebody else's code, or I take over my own code from a year ago, or even a month ago, right? Like, just help me get acquainted with my code base again quickly.
Yeah.
What is this? Actually, what's this code base do? Like, why is it here? Why build this instead of something else? Does it know that?
And then after this, we're gonna try to use the tool, the MCP tool.
Wow. They called it simple again. I'm not sure if I appreciate that.
Okay, so do the @JW whatever it was, and then ask it. Describe the architecture. Yeah. Let's just see what it can figure out.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm totally curious what it's going to come up with with that MCP server.
If it says, "Are you two Java advocates on Steam right now?" Modern reactive Spring Boot application with traditional data persistence, enhanced by comprehensive development and monitoring tools. Yes, so amazing. God, oh God, it's so good.
So that's cool.
It's got our number, dude.
Yeah, it knows. It knows.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So without the MCP server, it's just going to like look through files. But the cool thing with the MCP server is that it runs in the same process as your Spring application. So then it can just look at everything. So it's natural language actuator. So my next step with this is going to be to take my vibe coded nonsense and try to just wrap the actuator.
Yes. Yeah. Add even more visibility to everything. Yeah. And maybe, I mean, this is really great. okay, we agree, right? Making people whiteboard sorting algorithms is stupid, basically, right? Like that's not a good interview. And I'm starting to wonder, like, if somebody says, "Hey, give me an architecture for this," if your first move isn't to whip out Claude code, then maybe that's the test. Like if you're not like this isn't going to take your job, it's going to make it so that you are able to get to the final result a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
And that's the right test. Did you realize that there's a tool that'll do this for you instead of the busy work that some would have you do otherwise? This is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, MCP it's cool because it's like a plugin model for the AI code assistants.
Yes.
And you can build whatever plugin you want,
I'm
and I of course I did use Spring AI to build this MCP server.
Of course.
And of course it was super easy. Yeah, so that was cool.
It'd be very hard to be friends if it wasn't built on Spring. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, this is amazing. It's not going to be built on Flex. That's all I know. Like as long as it's fine, whatever. And you didn't do PHP either, so that's everything else is good. No, this is super cool. I've been vibe coding. I've used Cloud Code for other languages with which I'm less familiar. For two reasons. One is I never felt like the responses added to my, like if I'm running Spring code, I mean I don't know. I forgive me for.
You've been writing Spring code for a long time. You're pretty familiar.
And yeah, they're trivial demos that I do a lot of the time. So forgive me for being arrogant, but I think I'm okay. But like where I'm in less familiar territory, I use Cloud Code, and I've tried Cursor a few times. You ever use Cursor directly?
I haven't. Yeah, we have our own AI code assistant called Q.
Oh, is it?
It works in IntelliJ and works as a CLI, and so that's what I use most of the time. And
I've used that. I mean, there's Q.
There's so many options in this space.
So many options.
Windsurf. There's one called AMP. There's just so many different options.
Google has one that keeps changing its name, so I can't forget, but it's like Cloud Code or something like that. There's
Gemini Code.
Gemini. Gemini is the AI. They have a plugin for your IDE that has a different name. It's based on Gemini, I guess. And then there's another one from Junie.
Yeah. I've used Junie. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's separate from their AI assistant, which is a little confusing. So like AI assistant is like refactoring and smart line completion, and then Junie's like whole project refactoring.
So you know why we used Cloud Code today versus many of the other options we could have used is because only a few of the AI code assistants support connecting to an MCP server remotely, which is what we're doing. Even though we're running it locally, we still need the network transport. A lot of them today just support the standard IO way of doing MCP servers, which
so annoying.
It's kind of wonky. So I'm looking forward to having more of the code assistants.
There's you said there's like a Python proxy thingamabobber.
There is, yeah. So if you are in a code assistant where you only have standard IO, then you can. There's this MCP proxy. All you do is you do like UVX and then MCP-proxy and then your URL, and that just is essentially connecting to the server and then exposing it as standard IO. Oh, and your port was wrong. So it's going to complain about that.
What's the port?
Oh, you 9999. Yeah. So now this is localhost or a standard IO proxy for that thing.
Okay, so I should. So
you can do that if you're using a code assistant that doesn't support.
So if I were using the CLI, I would just give it that whole command. Python quit unexpected. I mean, really?
Doesn't it always though?
I control C you. There's a reason you should have quit. I love Python, but sometimes. Okay. So that's your CLI. You could get there from here if you wanted, but
yeah,
if it was more fully integrated like Anthropic is doing. Well done there.
I mean, it's so nice when you can just add the URL. And then it doesn't make sense in this use case, but of course, more people are going to be publishing their MCP servers actually on the cloud. And so then you just point to a URL, boom, done.
Boom.
Yeah.
Actually, so if you are building this, because this thing, does it have to, I guess it has to run in process with your Spring code. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It benefits.
Maybe there would be some way to connect to your actuator endpoint, but then if it's running out on the cloud, how's it going to connect? Then you're going to have to do, what is it, ngrok or something to like do some way to, and I don't know if you want to like be exposing your actuator endpoint publicly.
Or at least they should be authenticated or hidden. Like you can do username and password, you can do OAuth, you can do separate host and port, so you can have because when Spring Boot actually stands up the actuator stuff, it sets up a separate thread pool. And it's a separate web server, basically. So it's like, if you want it to be, it can be in a separate port, basically. So that even if you exhaust the thread pool for the main production app, you can still go to the health endpoint to see if your app is healthy, and it'll say, no, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of isolation there. And because of that, you can actually have your actuator endpoints that are only responding to local host, whereas everything else is public, for example.
Yeah,
that'd be a pain to have to configure. I think it's easier. And you're right, that Kotlin, the Gradle development only super clutch here, because otherwise it's going to get shipped into your build in prod.
You're the development only thing. Isn't there some way in Maven to do something like development only?
You could do a profile, I guess.
Profile,
Maven profile. That way, it's only active during development, but when you build it, it's not there, and it just never gets included.
Yeah,
that's tedious, though.
Yeah, I've been learning in Babel. Johnson's new AI agent thing that's built on Spring AI. And he uses Maven profiles for a lot of stuff, which I found kind of interesting, like the way to kind of toggle different features on and off. Is the first time I'd seen anyone like really using that in the library context, essentially. I guess the native Graal and native stuff typically use profiles.
We use profiles. I mean, so for example, our the projects themselves, I think it's just Spring. Like when we do development, there's a different profile versus what's included in. Like you can't just go to our code and Maven install. You have to Maven install with a profile active. I think. I forget why. I think it's because we use snapshots during development, and that's not.
You don't want that in production. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Oh, this is well done, man. This is a great way to.
It's fun. Right? It's a good end to the week.
So good.
Yeah, your natural language actuator.
Okay.
You know what I could do too?
What's that?
Because I'm starting up a server, I could actually have a little UI. So that if you were to open localhost 9999 in your browser, I could actually make a little chat interface in there as well.
Yes.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be super cool. Yeah. And that way
I guess then but then I would need to have you bring your LLM. But you know what we could do is like you could run Olama locally.
I'm all about Olama.
Yeah, I'll have to explore that, because then you wouldn't, then essentially Devtools would ship with a code assistant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people are doing these days is I don't know, the fact that we have more ideas showing up. We've got more ideas than we can execute on, right? This AI wave is just very inspiring.
Yeah. Well, and we're just at the beginning. So one of the things I've been thinking about, which this will give me a fun place to experiment with it, is that I think most code assistants today, like we saw with Claude, it's just reading the files off your file system. But when it reads the code, it actually is missing some important information about the code, especially when you get into like type inference, because the more type information you can give to the AI as it's looking at your code, the better, right? Like the more information it has, the better. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is when I interact with a code assistant around code, I actually don't want it to read like source code. I want it to maybe even take the AST of the source code and send that to the code assistant instead of just the like, human readable code. And so I think there's some more areas on the language side that it could be beneficial to have more deeper information than what's in the actual text code.
I love it.
So there was some experimentation around this in the world of Scala that I want to go look at. But with Scala, it's the code can be so concise because it's using type inference and using implicits and using all these things. But that actually becomes a disadvantage when you're using a code assistant, because you want the code assistant to have all that context.
Oh, right.
And so if you have something like the Spring DevTools MCP server, but actually able to have a deeper understanding of your code, and then instead of sending the text, send all the things that it knows, then
you heard it here, buddy.
Job.
Java's verbosity is a feature, not a bug. Okay, that's the lesson to you on this day.
It's getting less verbose. I mean, the records are.
Oh, can I show them the thing?
Yeah, let's see the thing.
The thing. Oh, God.
What's the thing?
I want to definitely do another video on this, a small video. This is not something you should do yet.
And I'm going to post in our chat again the link to this, what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Should I send it to all, or?
Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
I'm new to this StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
So the code in the library, the information for what we've been playing with is there up on my GitHub.
Oh yeah, GitHub. Did you get James' word on GitHub? Oh, good. Okay, you're not Rhea Cowboy. Okay.
Well, actually, I was thinking about going back to Rhea Cowboy.
No way.
Because I think that there's a place to use the naming Rich Internet Agents.
Oh no!
It used to be Rich Internet Applications. So I'm thinking about going back to RA Cowboy. But it's in the agent world now.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this a terrible idea?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, just squat on your own name. That's the important bit.
Oh my. Okay, are you showing us something else?
Oh yeah. This is, speaking of concise Java. I did a little vibe coding. I prompted one of the amazing engineers on the Spring team. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do A, B, and C? And then I was just ideating. I was just thinking out loud. Okay, that was the word I was looking for. And anyway, the scientists were so busy trying to figure out if they could that they never stopped to ask if they should. And so we got it working. So here's an example. Now, please avert your eyes, protect the children. Nobody's proud of this. This is just a thing that happened. Okay, so I'm a big JavaScript fan, James. People don't know that about me. Huge fan. So here's a JavaScript. Okay, script.java. Now, so there's a couple things going on here. Again, please don't cry.
Okay.
Stop
Are you
whimpering.
showing your screen?
Oh, I should share my screen. Share my screen.
Oh, hey, while you're doing that, we should talk about what we're doing next week. So next week we are going to be presenting at the San Francisco Java User Group.
Yes.
About AI and agents and all that.
Imagine.
That's going to be fun. That's like on Wednesday.
That's the beginning of the journey.
Wednesday night. And then Thursday, there's this AI Dev Day that AWS is putting on, and we're going to do a talk about Spring AI at that one as well. So
that's going to be fun. And then we're doing.
If you're in the Bay Area, you can see us live.
Yep. And then we're recording another one for.
And then we're recording another one. Yeah.
And if it's good, they'll release it. Is it Azul? I think it's Azul.
Yeah, Azul. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be, it'll be good. You've got James Ward. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about this. Okay.
Okay, what are we seeing? What is this?
I forgot to say, it's June 20th as we record this. So when he says next week, he's talking about.
Right. Yeah, right. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Okay. Okay. So this is, again, don't cry. Okay. I have the script. It's a Java script. Okay. So go to my desktop here. there. It's called script.java, right? It's a JavaScript. And so ignore this for a second. What you have to understand is that in Java 25, which isn't out yet, okay, that's important. So it's a preview feature. But in Java 25, we have implicit classes and relaxed main methods. So actually, I think this would work too. Like, let's try removing that. Like in theory, in Java 25, if I want, like, I can do this. I can actually try it out right now. So test.java, go over here, and I'm just going to do void main, right? Print line, hello.
What is IO.println?
It's a special class just to enable common console stuff, so people don't have to understand what system.out blah 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 is. They just know that there's this.
Is this new in Java 25?
It's a new in Java 25. It's a preview feature today in Java 24. So right now I've got. Let me see.
That's less verbose than the usual.
Yeah, huge. Okay, I'm using Java 24. You can still do it in Java 24. SDK list Java. Let me see. I think I have Java 25 downloaded though. So
it's a lot of different Java versions you got going on there.
Is it? Some would say too many. What's the what? Which one's installed? Did you see a Java 25 that's installed?
I don't know.
Lord help me.
Can you ask Claude that question?
It would give me the middle finger. Okay,
there's a 25 installed.
Whew. Okay, so actually it doesn't matter because it's a preview feature no matter what. Until it's GA, it's still a preview feature. So here's how you'd run that, right? You'd say Java enable preview, I think, and then source is 25, right, or 24, and then I'd say test.java. There you go. So
what
world? Okay, but of course
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wait, and how is it so fast?
Well, because I don't know. It's magic. But the point is, when Java 25 ships as a GA, you won't need this. You can just say Java test.java, right? So there's nothing special about that. That's actually on track to be a real thing you can do very soon. But what's happening is behind the scenes, Java is wrapping this in like a special unnamed magical implicit class, and it's just sort of filling in the gaps reflectively here, right? So it's turning it into that behind the scenes. So if you go back over here and I do, oops, I lost everything. How sad. io.println.
Luckily it was only 3 lines.
Yeah. I think we will rebuild. So if you run that again, okay, so that's that. So if I do this, string name, hi, and I do whatever, James or coffee software, right? And we do that, and we do name. Okay, there you go.
Do we have interpolation yet?
No, shh, don't ask. You're scaring the children. Don't do that. I wonder if var will work. It doesn't work in a normal context. Like you can't do var in a class, right? And remember, that's all it's doing is it's creating a class around the main method. So does that work? No, that doesn't work. You have to be. It's because again, this is in a class. It's a class variable. Okay, wait. Can I do private? I mean, it is technically in a class. Yeah, it does work. That's weird. That is so weird. Whatever. Just do that. Okay. So okay, it's fine. But that means you can also do like int add int a int b return a plus b, right? And then plus add 1 2, right? And then do that. There you go. Right? So you can actually have standalone methods now, but again, they're not. They're actually in a class. They're in an implicit class, and you can't use these methods anywhere else because, of course, you don't know the class. So it's only good for that like get off the ground quickly phase where you want to start scripting stuff. But I want more. So I wanted to like create a Spring Boot app, right? And the problem is that you could actually provide a class path here. You could say Java class path and then provide some dependencies, and then
that gets a little gnarly to like
with any serious application. And plus you want to do Maven dependency, transitive dependency resolution as well. So it gets tedious. So JBang to the rescue. JBang is a we did a video on this last year, actually. I think YouTube on JBang. It's awesome. JBang is a great little project by the community to where is it? Not 10 months ago, more recent than that. Live. It was live, I think. Oh, come on.
If only there was a way to search.
Shh, you're scaring the children.
JBang. There it is.
What?
I saw it. There it is. Top second
yeah,
one.
This one. Yeah, bugger me. Come, what? Here, this one. Right? So Max Rowell Anderson was nice enough to come on the show and just teach a Luddite like myself how to use this amazing tool. And this was, I think, right in the new year, or maybe it was very recently. So basically, it's a step right before Java gets a hold of your code, and it'll process certain macros in the code, and it'll do things like resolving dependencies, setting compile time options like -- enable preview, and specifying and downloading a version of Java, right?
Yeah.
So that's already interesting. And also it sets itself up as you can give it a shell bang line, right? That's the name. The nickname is a shebang, SHBANG.
The shebang, yep.
The shell bang line.
So that's why Jabang is called Jabang, is because
right.
it's a
Java.
It's a Java shebang.
Right. So here I'm running the JBang CLI. I'm giving it access to all the environment variables in my environment. So this sources all the environments and make them available for the shell before it launches the process. And then just don't ask. It's doing things, okay? But the result is that you can then chmod AX, make executable this script.java, and when you execute it, it'll call JBang with the current script, and then JBang will in turn execute this to set up the class path and set up the Java version and set up the preview features and download the dependencies that we want. In this case, I want the Spring Boot start a web dependency. And then finally, it'll send this class path and those feature and those preview switches and this source code off to Java. But again, only Java 25 supports it. So we're using Java 25 here, and we're telling it to download. So it actually downloads Java 25. So the first time you run this, it might take a minute, but then the second time you run it, it's really, really fast. So remember, we're importing Spring Boot code.
Yeah.
And then because it's a nested class, remember, we're inside of a class, so I have to make it static, which is weird.
Yeah.
Right? But otherwise, it's
presumably so there's some implicit Spring Boot application that's underneath the covers or something here.
Right.
I wonder if there would be some way to actually inject your controller and response body onto that as well, and then maybe you would only need a top level Git mapping.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Also, the other option is you could do the functional style router functions as a bean.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I like
so that
those.
would be. But okay, so you've got there's two different use cases here. One is a Spring annotated component, which you demonstrate, and it's a top level thing here. And then the other one is a bean provider method, right? And so this will register a bean of type application runner. This will register a bean of type controller, but it could have as easily been at service or at component or whatever. And then we have the last bit of magic here, which is Spring script, not Spring application, but Spring script. And that's coming from, if you go to github.com/scratches, this is where the good, the great, the amazing Dr. Dave Sire puts his, his sketches, basically, that may or may not amount to anything. You go there, there's going to be a jbang-catalog, and there's going to be a JSON config that tells JBang to associate this command script with the following code. And in that code, transitively, there's a thing called Spring script. And all that does is it, as you can imagine, it sort of wraps Spring application.run, setting up the reality of the fact that we're doing something with an implicit class, right? An implicit unnamed outer class.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so this is, okay, so let's see it. I remember I took out the string arguments. I'm not sure if we actually needed that or not.
Let's try it. Yeah.
Okay. So It's called script.java.
Okay, and you were able to just execute that because of that amazing JBang thing up there.
Yeah, so there you go. So there, God. Okay, so you can see the standalone application runner was executed because you can see it printed out standalone.
Yep.
Right? You can see it's got a port 8080, so Spring Boot Starter Web kicked in. Local host. What did I call it? There you go. Hi.
Amazing.
Right? Yes. Yes.
This is crazy.
So you can see the first time you make a change, it has to recompile. It's slightly slower, right? It's doing this whole setup, script.jar. Behind the scenes, it's actually doing all that work, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's bring this full circle to the MCP server.
Yeah.
Let's try something crazy. Go to your script and then add in your script.java. Let's edit that thing. Add in another dependency. Oh, first change that to WebFlux. We're going to need it to be WebFlux because of that nice little bug we just discovered in my stuff. Okay, now add in my James Ward Spring MCP Devtools thingy majiggy.
James Ward.
And then spring-devtools-mcp-server.
Okay. And then the version
0.0.2.
Okay. By the way,
just see if
one of the things he's doing in this is he's setting up the bill of, one of the things he's doing is he's setting up the bill of materials for Spring Boot, so we don't have to specify the versions, but for third-party dependencies, you absolutely should.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm sure this is not going to work, but
hey, what if it does though? Believe.
What if it does?
It's downloading dependencies.
Okay. We've got our MCP server running on port 9999. So keep that thing running.
I'm just gonna see how. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Shaved off
now.
It's 0.9 versus 0.8.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was worth doing. Okay, now go back to your Claude code.
Okay, Claude. Nope. Yeah, it's actually here.
Yeah, just. Yeah, sure. Why not give it access to your desktop?
Okay.
Okay, now say, what are my web routes?
Oh.
Is it going to work? No, it's not using our tool.
So this tool.
Oh, no, that should, yeah. Why didn't that work? Should have worked. Yeah, list our tools.
Surfing. Is it just trying to find routes in every possible programming language?
I don't know. I would cancel that.
Older.
We want to use the tool. See, this is why we have the MCP server, so that.
Okay, hold on. Okay, make dir demo move script.java to demo. And then do I need to do MCP?
No, the Claude MCP, it should still be there, right? Claude MCP list.
Okay, no, okay.
What? Oh, did those get configured for that project?
I wonder, right? That's my hunch.
Is it not globally?
Okay, so we want.
That's why it didn't have our tools. I thought Claude. Oh, I think there's some setting on Claude MCP add that makes it global versus project level.
Okay, like npm. Okay, now we're cooking.
Okay.
So now
okay, is your server running?
That.
Yep.
And then Claude list my web routes.
Frolicking.
That's the best.
Yes. It found the tool.
Yes, and don't ask again. You silly bot. It found it. It's already found a controller. Woo! Hello. Wait, no. Yeah.
Full circle. We just went from. Yeah, that was good. Brought it all together there.
Right. The outer class is called script. You can tell.
Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah. So that's cool. So with your fancy scripting and our MCP server, man, we are vibing now.
So the video, the title for this video should be "Vibe Coding Java Script."
Love it.
Good. Take that, TypeScript people. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Oh, it's so good. It's wrong. Okay, it feels so wrong, but it's also great.
How can it feel so right to be so wrong?
Oh.
All right. Well, I got to go to a meeting to go. I don't know, talk about MCP or something. So.
Okay. Well, it's been a good hanging out with you, my friend.
That was fun. Thanks for testing that, and I'm going to get that bug fix that we found because it should work with regular web too.
Yeah, we'll get
that figured out.
Small stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's bugs in everything we showed today, but you know, it's Friday, whatever. Hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. There's 1,000 of you across some platforms here, so that's cool. I think we did. Hopefully, some people have.
Maybe we'll see some of you in person next week. I guess.
Yeah, if you're in San Francisco, look us up. We're going to be around. You know.
Yeah, we'll be at SF Jug. We'll be at the AI Dev Day at the AWS office, Amazon office.
In the flesh.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Josh. That was fun.
Bye, buddy. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.